Liam's biggest fan.
Oh yeah,
let's
talk about that also.
Let's address Liam's biggest.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Please, I don't know. I have no clue.
If you reveal your identity, you'll get the bag of hair.
Whoever you are, shout out to you. And I know you'll be buying one of our pieces of merch, so I'm gonna find you eventually.
Welcome to episode 43, 44. Fuck.
Welcome back, Pill Poppers, to episode 44. Get ready for the gospel, because Thomas and I are about to share some deep and hard-hitting facts. No preparation has gone into this episode.
Just some green tea as some prep.
Yeah, just some beautiful green tea.
It is 7:47 p.m. So no Dunkin'.
We're not caffeinating up ourselves because we will be up until 2 a.m. like last night. Last night was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it's always good to see Tiki, and I've been really happy that we've been able to kind of get the boys together a few weekends in a row.
Mm-hmm.
You and I scrapped a little bit yesterday.
Jiu-jitsu scrappage.
A little bit of the jiu-jitsu. And I mean, I don't know. I work out with you, so I know like how strong your arms and your wrists and your hands and everything is. But it's just like a log.
A log.
It's like if a piece of wood was like 6 inches thick. You're not, that's hard to bend. You're about like that same thing.
I mean, I work out the forearms, so
Yeah.
I feel like the strength would be there.
Yeah, for sure.
And me and Marco scrapped because throughout high school, I would just hang out at his house and, boys being boys, but just like scrap with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So like I've got like, you can't have any strength, or you can't have no strength against Marco, or you're just gonna get demolished like in a second.
So you're going like 100% from the start.
It's 99%. It has to be 100.
Jeez.
Oh, get this pillow.
Yeah, get that
off of me.
Out. Let you sink back nice and deep into the chair.
I guess we can just talk about the Pillbox channel.
Yeah.
To begin with, you have some merch news that you wanted to bring up.
Yeah. So the merch news is we're planning a Q4 fall drop. The first drop in Pillbox history is going to be a black sweatshirt, reverse stitch with our logo on the front, screen printed.
What does reverse stitch mean?
So I had to look this up, and my buddy Tim, who's the merch guy, used that like vocabulary, and I had no clue what he was talking about. So I asked ChatGPT to give me a list of all the different types of sweatshirts there were, and reverse stitch is the most popular. I think it's just like a normal sweatshirt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we're releasing a normal
sweatshirt. Yeah. A normal.
Wait, sweatshirt or hoodie?
Hoodie.
Good.
Hoodie. Yeah. No
Good.
crew neck.
Yes.
Yeah, I want a hood.
I take the hoodie over the crew neck.
Yeah, with a pocket in the front.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Only black.
With the dolly profile, or our dolly logo as the head center front.
Yeah, and I think nothing else other than that.
Nothing on the back?
No.
Okay.
Maybe. We can talk about it more, but moving forward for that specific drop, we're going to have to do a pre-sale. So we're going to have to get people to pre-order it.
Mm-hmm.
So to do that, there's a few different ways. I was thinking we could either just send out like a Google form to everybody we know, including on all the Pillbox socials, on maybe our personal socials, send it out to friends, family, everything. Or we can do the website play. So we actually finally start up a Pillbox website. We have a landing page that is that sweatshirt, that piece of merch. We put it together pretty nicely, and then we have integration so everybody can fill out all their information on there. It's got a picture of it. If we do that, we could possibly put some money behind it and actually have like a legit you know, like you see like ads for different clothes on like Instagram and stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Have you ever clicked on those?
Maybe once. I think it's because it was like an American Psycho shirt,
Yeah.
and it's not the one that I own currently.
Mhm.
But I clicked on it, but it took me to some weird website, and I didn't really trust it.
Yeah. So
So
that's the thing. We're gonna have to make our website look legit so people will trust it, especially if we do something like that.
I like the Google form idea though,
You like that one more?
because yeah, just like sending it out as much as you can, and then if you have it posted on all socials, then you can just get whoever like comes and visits and is interested in it, they'll like do it,
Yeah.
like fill out the form.
Mhm.
But would it be like a pre-purchase, or it's only just Google form for interest?
That's a good question. I don't. If we had the website, we could probably have like a Shopify plugin to where people could actually pay. And then from that point, we'd set like a date for the pre-sale to end. People would buy it, and then once that pre-sale ends, it starts printing. After it's done printing, then probably manually we package them all up and deliver them
Yeah.
to whoever buys them. With the form, I think it would just have to be like an interest thing. And then would we just go like Venmo or something? That could get a little messy.
Okay. No, I feel like Venmo.
I think in my head I'm also projecting maybe more sales than we're maybe gonna get.
I guess I'm not trying to impose a pessimistic view.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just projecting my frugal attitude towards, I guess, the channel. So like when I post something, I'm like, oh, no one's gonna look at it.
Mhm.
Or if I'm trying to sell something, no one's gonna buy it.
Yeah.
You're getting pretty excited. I mean, I'm excited too. I just don't think we're Donald Trump, right? Like we're not. But
even like
okay, I guess discussing numbers, maybe like under 100.
under.
I don't think that's over optimistic then.
Mm-mm.
So I feel like
If
for that volume, it should just be a Google form.
just a Google form.
To be honest.
Okay. Yeah, I'll play around with what a website would look like, because I don't want that to stop our progress.
Mm-hmm. Because the website could be used for other functions.
Right. Just another way for people to organically find the
Mhm.
channel.
Let us know if you would like to buy Grandma's pillboxes.
Ooh, yes.
It's an idea.
That's an idea also. We drop ship pill boxes with like our brand on them. That would be I need one.
The only problem is you can get them for pretty cheap at any store.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, Amazon's still a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Amazon, did you hear about I don't know who, Amazon's getting sued for antitrust laws,
Ooh.
like breaking monopoly rules. I don't know if it's a certain U.S. agency that's suing them, but they own Whole Foods, they own the marketing on their own Amazon webpage. When I heard the explanation for it, it made a lot of sense to me, where if you're buying anything online, you're more than likely going to look at Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
and they run ads on their own website, but they also allow third-party sellers to sell on their website,
Yeah.
but then they can also run ads on Amazon's website. So the thing is, they're paying Amazon to run the ad on their own website where they have their own products. So the example is Amazon has their own dog food brand,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's some third-party dog food brand. So Amazon has their own product, and they're controlling the advertising like algorithm that the third party is paying for. So like who's gets pushed further up to the page,
Yeah.
that type of deal.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But I think the legal process behind that is going to take longer, like maybe 3-5 years before it's even longer. 5 to 10 is a longer term projection where that's even settled, because Amazon is a powerhouse. I'm assuming.
Yeah. Oh.
That they're not going to let this just. I don't think they want to settle either. They're just going to try to win the case.
Yeah. Because if they settle, they'll have to make major changes, right?
Mm-hmm. Big tech is not trustworthy in this current state of age. I watched a recent video about Bill Gates on my Stairmaster session.
Nice.
It was about why this person hates Bill Gates and why everyone else kind of just hates him. And essentially, he was a mean person in his company and then utilized his wealth to impose control over things. So the big conspiracy is that, like, he tried to start the coronavirus, like, pandemic, like, pushing the vaccine when he had stock in it. He's one of the biggest donors for the World Health Organization. He owns the most amount of farmland in the U.S.
Yeah,
I think he bought that during the pandemic. So
the ruler of the Matrix,
Bill Gates, and then you had Mark Zuckerberg. I don't know how recent it was, but he went to court, about privacy data, getting sued for that. And now Amazon is starting to get a lawsuit against them. So I'm glad the government's doing something, but still, big tech needs like some type of kick.
Yeah, they need more legislation to stop them from taking over. Because, like, we were talking about this a little bit last night. It's going to take so many years for laws to catch up to, like, I'll talk about this in a second, but it's going to take so many years for laws to catch up to where, like, AI is going to be. And we know that because it's taken so long for laws to catch up to where, like, the internet and, like, data is right now. There's like so many workarounds and abilities for, like, Amazon to just go out and buy all these companies and then, like you said, running their own ad platform on their own website with their own products.
Well, Amazon just owns so much, virtual and, like, real life real estate.
Yeah.
Where they can leverage all that they own to just benefit themselves,
Yeah, they can, and they have, like, the employees and, like, the power to, like, they have, like, the drive or, like, the resolve to act in, like, just a fully selfish way for, like, so that they can grow, like, almost like moralless acting, which you see in a lot of these.
What were you gonna bring up? So
Kate and I were browsing Netflix last night, and we saw that today a new documentary just dropped called Big Vape, the incendiary rise of Juul, and it just talks about the rise of, like, the Juul Corporation, how they did their marketing, what they believed they were bringing to, like, the consumer space.
Yeah.
And then the fallout of them being bought by Marlboro and their advertisements being seen by kids and, like, a lot of, like, young people getting addicted to Juuls, and pretty much, like, starting the e-cigarette, vape culture in the United States and, like, the world. So it was something that we were both heavily invested in, like, into the trailer, and it's something that I'd like to watch.
You just watched the trailer?
Just the trailer. The documentary is done by a guy it's directed by R.J. Cutler, and it looks like it's a docu-series, so I'm guessing
Oh,
4
so it's episodes, not just one.
episodes. Yeah, maybe like 4 hour long episodes.
Okay. He's made American High, the September issue, something about Billie Eilish,
The
and then
War
If I
Room.
Stay. The War Room.
The War Room.
Yeah,
Tate?
I've not heard of this guy, so
Hmm.
interesting to hear. He's doing a big vape documentary.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see, like, because they covered, like, a large portion of it was them talking about, like, the advertising and that sort of thing, and that kind of stuff interests me, so
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be cool to watch.
Psychology of advertisements.
There's a ton, dude. Like,
Do they ever get you? Do you think?
yeah, for sure. But I'm also so sensitive to price
Yeah.
in terms of, like, being a consumer and buying stuff that usually, like, they never convert me into a customer. But I'll enter into a funnel on, like, the marketing funnel on, like, a lot of different companies, and I'll work my way down the funnel and then stop right before the purchase process, just because I'm a cheap whore.
Wait, so they're able to get you to click, but as soon as the price shows, then you click off.
Pretty much, yeah.
So what gets you to click in the first place? Like, I don't know. I need an example to work off of.
So let's say I'm scrolling through Instagram and I see an advertisement for, like, shorts.
Okay.
But and the shorts are, like, based off of anime or, like, some cultural thing that I'm interested in.
Mm-hmm.
That then would get me to click. You know what another thing is because I'm so sensitive to price, usually when I see some sort of big discount, if they're promoting, like, a certain percentage off or free plus shipping, that, like, really draws me in more than a lot of things. That is up there with, like, really good creative work, like, Super Bowl caliber ads where you're like, that was really good. Those draw people in. And I mean, those are really the top two. Or, like, so if it's something I'm interested in, those are, like, the three things that are causing me to, like, interact with ads usually.
For me, I feel like ads do a horrendous job for me.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, I don't have the money to spend on anything, like, a random thing that I see online. I don't have the money, but I'm also never really willing to. The most exposure I get is, like, watching Hulu, stupid, like, ad. Okay, you pay for Netflix.
Yeah.
There's no ads. Well, apparently they're having.
There
like,
is
an ad.
now.
There.
There is ads now on Netflix.
Wait, even with paying?
Even with paying.
All right,
Yeah.
forget about that.
Yeah.
But HBO, you pay for it, no ads. Hulu, I guess it's free. I don't know what my point is, but my exposure to ads is from Hulu and YouTube mostly,
Mm-hmm.
and the ads never entice me. On YouTube, it's usually always catered to whatever I've been watching recently. So I'm working on a YouTube video, so I look up stuff like how to do this edit, how to make this sound, whatever. And then I get artlist.io.
Yep.
I get other bullshit ads. It's like I'm sure they are enticing. Like, I don't know how you heard about Epidemic Sounds. Was that through an ad?
From a pre-roll ad, yeah.
So that's different, I guess.
That was offering 50% off the first month.
Okay.
So it really comes down to, like, there's so many people in the world, and, like, there's so many consumers in, like, different points in their journey. There's gonna be people that are gonna, like, that your ad is, especially if you're building an ad based off of data, knowing that there's, like, a certain amount of consumers that are not, like, where you're at, but are, like, say you're shopping for a car, and you're looking up a lot of stuff about the Chevy Silverado, and then all of a sudden all of your pre-roll ads are all Silverado stuff, and your pop-ups on Google are all, like, the Dodge Ram or whatever. There's just so many different people in different positions in that journey. That's why, like, cause dudes, yeah, like before I started getting into advertising more, I was like, this doesn't work on me. This doesn't work. But it's kind of like an ignorant thing to say, because there's just so much different people at like different points.
Yeah.
It's yeah. But it's hard to like grasp. Like the main thing that I've been struggling with recently is like demographic based stuff. Like trying to understand and cater things towards like Gen X. No,
just older
like
audience.
baby boomers and all that stuff. Like our parents' age and older. Like you're not in that. If I wanted to cater to like my generation, I'd say like level 100 Giat, Skibbity Boop, Sneeko, Andrew Tate. Ohio.
I think the one thing that I just super dislike is the corporate ads. So seeing like ads for Target, ads for BetterHelp, or I don't see the BetterHelp ads that much. I'm mainly talking about Hulu. Every ad on Hulu, not one has like made me like it.
Yeah.
There might be one where I'm laughing, but because of how awful it is. Mm-hmm. But there's this one Buick commercial where I know, like, it's sad, but I know the lines for the Buick commercial. I'm like, this is so awful. Yeah. I'm not gonna buy a Buick because of this.
So the fact that you're seeing it that much is putting you off,
I guess.
There's like a real thing. Once you hit like 12, once a person has seen an ad 12 times, like their I don't know if it's their like possibility to buy, or their attitude towards it drops sharply off. Like it slowly rises from like 1 to 12, and then once it hits 12, it's almost just like like the housing market crash, just boom, straight down.
Yeah.
Maybe you just got overexposed. Maybe if it was only 11, you'd be buying a Buick.
I can assure you I've seen it more than 12 times. Maybe like 30.
I think it's pretty cool that you also like cool, that's not the right word. I think all this stuff is cool because this is like what I'm working in. But you being you seeing the majority of your ads on connected TV, like streaming and that sort of thing, that's gotta be like one of the least likely mediums where I'm gonna like click a link and leave that platform.
Yeah, like
YouTube, I'm never like, that's gotta open up a new tab.
No, but especially like a streaming service, like you're not in the mood to, unless it's like a good ad, you're not in the mood to, let me grab the controller, or like let me like move the mouse and visit this ad, pause whatever I'm showing, and like look through this.
Yeah.
Or unless you like you click it and save it for later, but
ads right now.
We're watching. Wait, what did you turn on the TV?
I put on like high quality 4K like footage, just rolling footage.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I like to throw it on when I'm just vibing in here.
Yeah.
But what some companies have been doing recently is they've been throwing like a QR code up during like a TV or like a streaming commercial.
I've seen that.
So then people
that makes more sense to me.
Yeah, they're already like on their phones during like distracted during like that ad period. So that's kind of just like another way to. Mm-hmm. There's always innovation and stuff, and I don't know, advertising's interesting.
What's funny for me is there was this one ad. It was like choose your ad experience, and it was like whatever, morning time, nighttime snack, whatever. I clicked on like one of the experiences, and I literally stopped I didn't pay attention to the ad. Like I clicked it, I was like, okay, I'll watch this one, and then just like fucked off and did something else.
That's so hard for like advertisers to track.
The only ads that actually maybe work for me are the YouTube when the YouTuber integrates them into the video. Those are the only times that maybe it'll work for me.
Yeah,
I'd have to say.
Yeah,
like sponsored ads,
sponsored stuff. Yeah, that's good to hear. And I think our viewers would also be very receptive to sponsor ads.
Yeah, you think Liquid IV purchases went up because of us?
Yeah.
All right, Liquid IV, send us some.
Let's go.
Come on,
Let's
respond to the email.
Yeah.
We take that back. Fuck you.
Spotify for podcasters just added an impressions thing.
Oh,
So now you can look at how many impressions our podcast has had on Spotify's platform.
interesting. I never thought to look at Spotify for podcasters analytics.
And the impressions in the last 30 days, we've been seen 1,400 times.
It's a lot more than I thought.
Right? I thought it was pretty good. So that we're popping up due to search or due to like organic stuff, like a lot on people's feeds. But our plays per episode is at 6.
Oh well,
The
the main focus is on YouTube anyway.
top impression sources, that's true, it is from search.
From search.
So I wonder what possibly people could be searching.
Tomas.
Who knows? Pills. People looking for rap songs about pills.
Yeah.
Or Roddy Rich the Box.
I forgot that song.
Hey, who was the first guy to like revolutionize the like total war for like countries?
No clue.
Was it our buddy, our good friend,
Napoleon?
the little corporal?
Wait, what do you mean total war?
Like the war machine. Like when a country goes to war, they like switch their entire industry to like creating soldiers' garments and tanks and bullets and airplanes.
He did try to figure out like stuff for that. I don't know if when he was emperor or whatever, that he commanded, that the whole industry shift over to that.
Yeah.
I just know in the U.S. that's what happened for World War II, where people were able to get jobs, women were able to stay home and work for industrial plants to make bullets, make whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know who originated this total war concept, but that'd be interesting. I feel like it's more of a gradual thing. I don't know.
Yeah, probably because warfare and weaponry was kind of gradual for many years until it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And then things just ramped up dramatically. And it might be the same like with total war. Like it was gradual. You've got a few people that are doing this and doing that, different industries, and then boom, once we've got to produce tanks and battleships and millions of rounds of ammo to go ship overseas and med kits and all this stuff, then and only then was when like things really just changed. Dude, I couldn't even like imagine being somebody that was like around like 1850 and then they die in like 1950.
Oh, so you mean born in
born in 1850, and you like see like how
But now imagine this: born in 1950, lived to 2050. I think that's more crazy.
That might be crazier.
I think that's crazier.
Yeah,
because 1850, you had guns. Just speaking generally, you had guns.
Yeah.
You had some mode of transportation. It wasn't cars, but you had like boats, horses, carriages, most likely.
Yeah.
All of that stuff. And then 50 years later, you have the introduction of oil.
Yeah.
Then 50 years later, you got planes, tanks, what else? I mean, buildings, AC, like, you get all of that. But now going from 1950s to 2050, you get, I think, in terms of, let's say, war, maybe not too much different.
Not too
At
much.
least up to this point right now, 2023.
Yeah.
I don't know about 2050 where the aspects of war where they can go, but you got drones, you got just higher power jets, naval like warships, and now let's say the public sphere, where you're getting
Oh, dude.
medicine, you're
Yeah.
getting technology, you're getting infrastructure, just all sorts of loads of different like improvements.
Yeah.
So 2050, I don't know. I feel like that's like way crazier.
Yeah, we're 27 years away from that.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be so different than what it is now. Literally, like, yeah, the consumer advancements are just mind blowing to that time. Definitely more than military advancements.
Yeah, I don't want to derail the conversation, but I want to state that I'm not in favor of Israel. I don't like the U.S. funding war, but that's it. I don't want my opinions to get clipped by Guancho.
I'm gonna tell him to clip that.
Clip that.
He's gonna leave out the parts where you say this is satire.
This is not satire. Oh, great. I just gave it to him.
I agree with your statement. I think war.
Fucking AI became the thing.
AI.
1950 to 2050.
Oh my God, nobody's gonna know, bro.
Oh my God, 1850.
The internet is just like the craziest. I mean, as humans, we get used to things over time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're slowly getting used to the idea of AI being like fully incorporated into our lives. In 5-10 years, it's gonna be like fully incorporated. They do a good job of like throwing like a seed out there for people to get a little bit used to.
Yeah.
And then things like really ramp up, so then we're not like freaking out. Like if they were to release like 10 years from now, whatever the state of like ChatGPT and OpenAI as a company is, if they were to release that and day one is in 2050, and we haven't had any of that experience up to that point, things would be crazy. But now they're dropping like ChatGPT 3.0, where it's just like a nice little language model that is based off of 2 years ago, where you can use it for some silly little games and stuff.
Yeah. But it was immediately thrown in or used as like a political weapon. Like, oh, you can write good things about Trump using ChatGPT, or Biden about with ChatGPT, but if you ask about Trump, it says, "Oh, can't give my opinion on these things."
Dude,
So like immediately it was like used as just a weapon.
Right away. That stuff is so frustrating, cause like that's what gets just flooded into like your space, and like your brain capacity is just, oh, how can this be used like politically or whatever. And
well, then it gets immediately turned around to be like, you can't trust what this thing tells you because it can't tell you good things about Trump.
Yeah.
Like it gets immediately turned into a conspiracy where, if you're too naive, sure, it could be a conspiracy and just fly over your heads, and then everyone thinks the vaccine should be drinking, whatever. Whatever. That's a rabbit, or that's a slippery slope.
that is a very slippery slope.
Well, I was just saying it was like as a logical fallacy.
Yeah.
Like, you can't say, oh, it doesn't say good things about Trump, then it's gonna do this,
Mm-hmm.
and then that. But the reason I originally said it is because, this AI could be a good thing, but immediately utilized as a political weapon. Elon Musk did warn people about, though, or like, I don't know, I just use Elon Musk. He's, I guess, the biggest person to say it, where, he's afraid of AI. So there needs to be regulations. And, if you think far ahead, it can actually be used as a pretty bad weapon. Like, as soon as nukes were used, there had to be a world fucking treaty to not use nukes. Like, you don't let something become a disaster before you like prevent it, right? Like if you
So you're saying something first has to happen before steps can be taken to try and...
No, I'm trying to say the opposite.
Oh, the
I'm trying to
opposite?
say the opposite. You don't let the bad thing happen if you know it's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
So
So I haven't seen Oppenheimer. Were they...
Oppenheimer?
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 Were they... Was there like a thought of that? Like what you're saying right now. We know that bad things are going to happen. So we need to stop them. But they still happen. Like those bombs were still used.
Well...
Like, is that just going to be the same thing with AI where we're all like saying we need to create legislation, we need to protect our people, and then all of a sudden in 5 years, every single
The thing is,
truck
it was
on the
kept
road-
secret. That was the big thing.
Mm.
It wasn't like shout it out to the public. We're making nukes.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, okay.
it was
that makes sense.
it was completely top secret.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So,
That makes sense.
but I mean, it was a global arms race as well because the Soviet Union was trying to make nukes as well. But you know, like who can make the nuke faster, the Germans or the U.S.?
Mm-hmm.
And then
USA, baby.
And then the thing is, there was no regulations because it was a world war.
Yeah.
So they had the nukes, and you know, you have to imagine this happening over. Well, I think it happened over a longer time period, but you know, the threat of the Nazis till the end of World War II, 4 years, right? 5 years
Until like the Nazis were like
Well, I'm just speaking World War II.
World War II. How long
1990
it
to 1994, right?
1990.
I'm stupid.
1940.
1940 to 1944.
Was the Holocaust not happening before that? Or was 1940 when like the world became aware of it?
Isn't that when it started?
Well, but
World War II.
I'm
just saying officially speaking.
officially speaking.
I'm just saying officially speaking.
When did the U.S.
This
join?
is the internet. People aren't like world-starring Jews getting gassed.
Right, because they were keeping it under.
Exactly.
Okay, I see where you're going.
Okay. They hear the Nazis are like, we need to make a fucking nuke. 4 years later, they drop the nuke, and now the Nazis are beaten and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like an arms race.
Yeah.
Like AI hasn't been turned into an arms race yet,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, we don't know what China's doing, who else is doing what. Israel. Israel's they use like an AI sentry to like
a turret.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not with real bullets, but you know, still
Yeah.
it's an AI fucking sentry, like to like aim
little
at
rubber bullets?
Palestinians. Yeah, rubber bullets.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, I'm sorry, I got lost there when you were explaining that for a second, but I brought it back. You brought it back. You reined me back in, and yeah, I
was trying not to get too much into the detail, just like
Mhm.
generally speaking.
Yeah.
You know, over a short time period, you're focused on one objective, and I think in the narrative built with Oppenheimer, he foresaw like the brutal future of the nuke, but he was kind of invested for the science of it.
Yeah.
You know, AI, you know, you're so invested in the science of it, like, oh, this is insane what you can do with it, but then you don't think about the immediate aftermath of what could happen.
Right.
So that's why people like Elon Musk, whoever is saying to regulate AI,
Mm-hmm.
which to me makes sense.
Yeah. I agree.
Republicans don't like regulations, so I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know the political surrounding about AI as a general
Those damn
thing.
Republicans can't even use AI. They can't even use computers. The nice thing about AI in relation to your nuclear example is that like the net positive is there for AI.
Mm-hmm.
Like the nuclear bombs, like the net positive is
Nuclear reactors, maybe.
It's fear of warfare, because like the whole world will be destroyed.
Pandora's box.
Pandora's box.
That's what it is.
That is what it is. Yeah, that's a great. What's the word? I tried to use it twice there. It's like when you
Context.
I know, I'm
What-
trying.
What are you trying to say? Like
How you just use Pandora's box in relations.
metaphor?
Yes. God. Tiki.
What about him?
You know. That's a great metaphor.
But AI is probably just another. Maybe it's another Pandora's box. But like you said, the net positive is there, where you can utilize it to do medical research, to make day-to-day life easier, to just advance like different fields where humans can take off the burden, or industries can. Where am I trying to go with this?
There's certain
Okay. Let's say. What are we gonna say? Let me think.
there's certain industries that might be more dangerous or harder on like people that AI will be able to take over, allowing less possibility for death and harm coming from those industries. And because of that, not a lot of people I feel like think about this way, but there's going to be new jobs that are created because of the introduction of AI. So we're going to lose some, but we're also going to gain some.
That's where I was trying to go with the end point, where some jobs are lost, but then new jobs are gained.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of a historical example, but my brain couldn't find any.
Yeah, my brain, after you say that, I went straight to kind of like the Industrial Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
Where but for that, I feel like a lot of the people that say you were like a seamstress in like your local town, and then they build a factory right outside of town, now you're working in that factory. So you're losing like your mom and pop shops, but now the production and the volume is increased so much.
Yeah, but there's the debate, like, do you need the increased production?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do we need giant farms all across the U.S., or could we still stick to the locally raised everything?
Yeah.
Where people still have jobs and you're still eating good food, or you have these giant cornfields and you buy processed foods at the grocery store, but there's a lot of it, so you don't have to worry about food.
Yeah, and you're feeding a lot of other people across the world.
Arguably.
True. But I mean,
For some reason, humans just can't feed each other. There's got to be some monetary gain for it.
Yeah. What would you do if you had all the money in the world? I'd end world hunger. Not enough money to do that. Not enough. All the money in the world is not enough.
You don't think so?
I think it is. I was kind of just making a joke.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Because everybody needs to get money and
Liam's getting distracted by the 4K
I am.
footage.
This is crazy.
I have not looked at it once just because I know I'll get mesmerized.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whew. Oh, we're at 48 right now.
Okay.
So we can keep going for a couple more minutes, and I think we shut down.
Yeah.
Shut down production. Try and go back to locally grown and raised, which is far better for you than all the garbage that they put into your corn and your processed wheat and GMOs and all that stuff.
Yeah. I don't know if GMOs specifically are like the biggest biggest detriment.
Pesticides.
It's the pesticides required to grow those GMO things because they've I have to sneeze. Now it's gone.
Look at the 4K. Look at the 4K.
My problems have been solved.
Yeah, I used to really think that GMOs were bad for you, but so I kind of like dipped into that old thought, but a lot of people have explained what you just said also to me.
So I guess I don't have to reiterate.
For the pod, I think.
For
you
the
should.
pod?
Yeah.
Well, I guess the basic usage is we have this chemical that if you put it on the ground, it kills everything.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't want to kill the corn. So we change something in the genome of the corn where it doesn't react to this chemical. And booyah. We grow corn. We just spray this thing all over the place, and it won't kill our corn, but kill everything else.
Booyah.
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 That's just like one aspect of it.
Yeah.
Because like if you look up the original corn, it is nowhere near how like the GMO corn looks like.
In terms of like color, size. Oh wow.
So the left little like pea pod thing is the original like what corn came from, and then the right is the GMO like crop yield increase.
Oh my
corn.
gosh.
So you might look at that and be like, that doesn't look healthy, but they're just changing it. So instead of putting energy towards this one thing, it puts it all towards corn, like making those little bulbs. So it's not necessarily super bad because it's still all the same ingredients inside the plant.
Yeah.
But it's all the other shit that you're putting on top of it.
Right.
That is what is not healthy.
That's when things get a little rough.
So I guess you could still say maybe GMO crops not good because they have the pesticides, insecticides, herbicides all on top of it.
Yeah.
But I guess because my plant bio teacher made a big point where it's like, don't waste your money on organic produce, okay? It's a scam. Because he made that, he iterated that point where, the GMO doesn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Or non-GMO organic. But
organic most of the time means raised without pesticides.
I think I kind of mixed up his opinion. That was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm not
maybe not.
pulling a straight coat.
Yeah.
But you guys get the point I'm trying to say here, where growing, like, you got to watch what you put in your body.
For sure. And sometimes you don't even, like, sometimes you just have zero clue. Like tap water.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's fluoride in our tap water that's doing things to our endocrine system that majority of the people just don't even know about.
Or like you've seen those pictures where they cut off like a water pipe in half, and then you see like all the gunk and the stuff on the inside.
Ew. That's going into us.
I don't think
but it's okay because I've got a filter at the base or like at the spout of my water. I think it's okay.
Well, how long has it been since you changed that filter?
It's got rocks in it, so it traps everything.
There's also, I've seen one where the Coca-Cola fountain machines at like movie theaters or restaurants,
yes,
where like you can pick whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen like a plumber guy show like the tubes, and it just looks gross. So like even those aren't like trustworthy.
Have you seen? I don't know what this stat is, and it might be false, but it's like the amount of plastic a person consumes in a certain amount of time is equal to like a credit card.
I've seen that. I think that's true.
I'm not sure what the time period is exactly. Maybe a year.
But amount of microplastics is insane.
So much.
And that's just because of oil giants forcing us to utilize plastic products.
Yep, water bottles that have been shipped from the Philippines on boats, just baking in the sun. And then by the time it gets to us, like, who knows how much has seeped into those waters.
Mm-hmm.
I try and stay away from water bottles for that reason. Just, dude, we've been getting a reoccurring person commenting on our Instagram posts.
No, YouTube posts.
Was it YouTube? Mike and Momo Disc Golf?
Oh, your friend.
On Instagram, yeah.
I thought you meant Liam's biggest fan.
Oh yeah,
let's
talk about that also.
Let's address Liam's biggest fan.
We'll get back to Mike. Who are you?
I really hope because this is at the end of the podcast, maybe like throw a clip in the beginning of the video so he like is enticed to watch the video.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Please. I don't know. I have no clue.
If you reveal your identity, you'll get the bag of hair.
You'll get it. I have one idea that it's possibly Devin, one of my buddies from Bradley.
Well, okay.
That seems like something he would do.
But I guess he could have changed the name because it said the account was made a long time ago.
Yeah. Whoever you are, shout out to you. And I know you'll be buying one of our pieces of merch, so I'm going to find you eventually. I'm going to find you.
Liam's biggest
fan. Classic. Where's Thomas's biggest fan?
I don't got any fans.
It's because you don't have any hair. They want your hair.
He wants your hair.
He wants my hair. I think they all do, though. That's kind of like a common trait for super fans.
Yeah, for some reason
They
they
want
fetish
the
of hair. Like, what are you gonna do with the hair? Like, make it a beard or like?
Ooh, put it in your teeth.
Gross.
Leave a comment, saying that you will never give up your identity. But Michael and Momo. I don't know if I've told you about him, but he's a professor in welding in the Quad Cities, and he tours around on the summers and plays disc golf professionally. Super cool guy, super fun guy, and we just had some crazy conversations about like conspiracy theories and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he would be a great guy to get on the pod. So if we ever did like a traveling pod over to the Quad Cities.
What's the Quad Cities?
That is like Davenport. It's like the Illinois and Iowa border.
Oh, okay.
So Davenport, 4 other cities: Moline, Rock Island,
Yep.
and Bettendorf, I think.
Okay.
Those 4. He's over there. He would be so fun to get on the pod. And he's got a drone.
Mm-hmm.
He's been putting together some really good videos on his channel recently.
Nice.
Yeah, but shout out to him. We're at 57. You ready to call it?
Let me check my notes.
Okay. Notes. You provided notes? You made notes? Let me check my notes. It says, subscribe to Grandma's Pillbox.
Please subscribe. Subscribe.
Guancho.
No, I got nothing else.
Okay. Nice seeing you. Nice spreading the good word with you.
Yeah.
These.
Hopefully YouTube doesn't take us down.
Hopefully they don't. They won't.
For
our
not siding with Israel.
Yeah, for our support of the Palestinians.
Well, I guess before we go, like, how deeply, like, politically connected is everything? I wonder. Like, how influenced is YouTube by U.S.-Israel relationships or U.S.-China relationships where they're like, we need this to be good so our ad revenue still keeps coming in? Or, like, if OpenAI, relies on Israel for funding or a certain person for funding and they can't allow the Donald Trump comments because they get their funding from these people. Or...
Dude, I think you're hitting it on the head. It was really like COVID. COVID started like me starting to get like a little realization that like everything really is connected. And then like Tate with his use of the Matrix.
Yeah.
That's like a bit that's for a bit of flash and show. Putting like a word behind it, but like the concept behind it is really what is going on. And we see it with like certain businesses backing certain parties.
I think the biggest takeaway for that is really follow the money. Like, if there is a paper trail, then if you follow it, you'll find the real influences.
Yeah.
Like, imagine like complete transparency on the internet, like, for example, Google or YouTube. Like, imagine like they were forced to show where they get their money from and who they give their money to. Like, just imagine how open things would be if they were forced to do that type of stuff.
There'd be a lot of accountability for everybody. That's not right, like happening right now.
But then I guess you get into legal
Is that
questions.
possible in this world at all?
What? Accountability?
Having something like that with these mega corporations that if they do get sued, they can just settle and then possibly keep doing it?
Well, under a completely free market capitalist system, I'm guessing not. But, there's too big of a topic to discuss right now.
Yeah.
And I'm nowhere near educated enough to give a good opinion where I think is the world ready to regulate these internet corporations. I don't know.
Find out next time on Grandma's Pillbox.
Like and subscribe, leave a comment, share with your friend this podcast, and drink some green tea.
Drink some green tea. Appreciate all you guys out there. We love you. Get ready for merch soon. Bye.
Peace.